We are unmuted and live on YouTube.
What did you tell Mr. Preston?
This was fine, something in particular.
He was asking about the motorcycle riders.
Oh, yeah, I told him no. That dad wouldn't like that. Matter of fact, dad would not like that.
No, yeah.
Well, first time I pulled in with a Harley, you just, you're out.
You'll shoot your eye out type of a reaction.
Yeah. Well, my sister said it was pretty true about it. He's black or
Black and white.
white guy. No. Yeah.
Very nice, right? So,
It was, they're good. That's why I didn't even change nothing.
No,
Shared it.
I thought you wrote it.
No, yeah, I just shared it out.
She did, yeah.
All right, 7 o'clock, let's open the meeting. Is there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Yes, sir. I'd like to add a public comment policy.
Okay,
Under,
new business?
yeah, new business.
So that'll be 10.7.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else added or deleted? Any discussion? Motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
All right. Bob?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Brian, explain your numbering system here to me. I know there's a method, isn't that? For the 4.1, 4.2.
It's just under that header, item 1, 2, 3, 4,
I got
under
you.
4.
All right.
Just-
you're doing that.
Just
Okay.
easier to search if I gotta go back and find
Okay,
something.
all right.
Okay, we open the floor to any public comment. Being there is none, we will move on. Approval of the minutes of the April 14th, 2021 outgoing board member meeting. Have you reviewed that?
I have, and I'll make that motion.
All right,
Second.
all in favor? The incoming board directors meeting for April 14th, 2021. Make a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All right. And the April 14th, 2021, the executive closed session meeting minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. All right. Moving from that, financial report.
Yes, sir. As of April the 30th, 2021, in the assets checking account, the general fund at Bank Star, $516,114.51. The capital reserve at Bank Star, $665,965.63. And then the health reimbursement at Bank Star, $10,040.76. Total assets of $1,143,120.90. Current liabilities, $4,030.52 in payroll liabilities. And total income expense per period, income $73,072.49, with expenses of $163,133.32.
It's a 3-check month last month, so it looks like an expensive month.
Any discussion about the financial report? Then do I hear a motion to approve the financial report as presented?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor? All right. Approval of the ordinance for disposition and disbursement and paying the bills. Ordinance 21-6. Make a motion to,
I'll make that motion.
all right. Second the motion. All in favor? The ordinance has been approved. We can pay the bills. Monthly fire marshal's report, please.
Yes, for the month of April, there were 2 permits issued. One for Emo's Pizza remodel. They're moving to Karen Harris's old building up there on the corner. They're doing a drive-through and going to close their sit-down restaurant. And, excuse me, Jefferson College Arts and Sciences doing a remodel. Fees charged were $681. Fees collected $1,404.
Fire chief's alarm report.
Yes, in your packet, there was the written fire chief's report. We broke another record, had our busiest month for calls ever in the history of the Hillsborough Fire District. We ran 112 calls in April. It was absolutely ridiculously busy in the month of April, especially the first 2 weeks of it. Multiple fire losses within the Hillsborough Fire District over that period. We had a camper catch on fire in Lake Wawanoka on 4/3. And then on 4/27, we had the apartment fire at Timber Ridge. That call, I'm sure you guys have seen, did lead to the arrest of a suspect who has started that fire. We believe started that fire. So my compliments to all the crews. They did a wonderful job this past month. It was nuts. So everybody's doing great. We're still working through issues with the new CAD system. Jeffco 911 has gone as far now to hire a third-party company to look into the CAD system to make sure it's working correctly. I see lawsuits and a new CAD system here at Jefferson County 911 within the next 2 years. The system that they bought, it's not what they were sold. They were sold a Ferrari and got a jalopy. So the blame does not fully rest within Jefferson County 911. So we're working through it. We're making changes as we need to go through with dispatching errors and things like that. It's doing okay, but there will be changes that coming down the pipe eventually.
How, everybody's smartphone has a map in it now that works pretty darn good. How hard is it?
That's my thoughts. I don't have any. I don't have an answer. This CAD system literally looks like you could have pulled out a floppy disk and it was loaded next to Oregon Trail back in 1985 on a computer. That's terrible. So we're stuck for now.
How's that?
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. I know they are withholding money from the CAD vendor, so they have not fully paid the bill on that. And I believe to further add insult to injury, after the debacle with Jefferson County 911, Logisys, the CAD system that they bought from, is in the process of going under. So, yeah, not good at all. So, no major issues with COVID. We're doing well. So we haven't had any problems or anything since the holidays. So we're doing good. Cases are extremely low, and everybody's doing good with that. So the insurance claim regarding the siren pole has officially been closed. They did total Sean Hall's car out. Thankfully, I'm glad they did. It never goes well replacing a roof on a vehicle, so I'm glad they totaled it out. So he is in the process of getting a new vehicle. I talked to Aaron Ryder last week. His vehicle is all fixed and ready to rock and roll. Our insurance company covered their deductible, so it didn't cost them a dime out of pocket. So everybody's back to normal and moving forward. The damage to our firehouse, we're still waiting to get the shed siding repaired. I'm waiting on a fifth generation to come finish that up. And that's really the only cost we're going to incur here, aside from we had to haul off the old pole, which I think $70 or something like that, was real cheap. And then we paid to have the pole removed from Sean's car the night that it happened. So we won't come anywhere near reaching the deductible for us to file a claim. Again, we'll continue to talk about and plan for hopefully getting tax increase back on the ballot next April. Everything's going good with the fleet. I will tell you, and I sat and had a little meeting with Jason, it's been an expensive year for the fleet. So I would fully expect that budget to be blown out of the water. We are probably close to the $15,000 to $16,000 mark that we've spent on the repairs and stuff like that already this year. So it's just one of those years where everything needed tires and brakes and waiting. So
It's not something to skip on.
no, absolutely not.
Kind of how it's done.
It costs of doing business.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
For the month of April, there were 186 hours worth of training. Everyone, again, has been hitting it hard. And again, my compliments to everybody in the incident scenes. It's definitely shown how hard they're training and how good of a job they're doing. So, you can see the stuff under the community services division. Well, all I got.
All right, well, we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Communications, certificate of election results.
Yes, we received that in the mail, not long after the last board meeting. The official election results have been certified, and a copy was in your board packet for your review.
The Jefferson Memorial Foundation grant.
Jason?
Okay, so everybody knows twice a year we're allowed to apply through the Jefferson Foundation for grants, whether it be new EMS equipment or one of their other programs. We applied again this past rotation, and it's the first one we got in 2 or 3 years, but we applied for $17,500, we got 10 grand. So basically we applied to replace our thermal imagers and our core gas detectors, so this will start the process of trying to figure out which one's best to get and what we will and won't do, so.
Cool. Yeah, we've already gotten a committee together, gotten guidance to that committee as to, kind of what to do and how we're gonna go about doing this. So we may need to spend a little bit of district money to kind of bump this up to get what we need. Our thermal imaging cameras are just so cool.
I remember when we bought
Yeah,
the same ones.
Yeah, same ones, the originals, the back, I mean, the technology is just way.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The ones in 2004, the others in 2003, we got from Rocky Hill.
Yeah, we got donation. So, kind of cool. It's good technology to.
How many dollars, Jason, if you were guessing, do you think you've gotten over the year, or we've gotten over the year? You did most of it, but.
Not sure, we'd have to add it up, but, I mean, the safer grant alone was over $1 million.
Yeah, you're probably $2 million when you had a truck.
Not to take away because Jason's done all the legwork for it and deserves a lot of it, but this Vickers consulting firm that we pay a lot of money to.
Right.
Holy cow, those boys.
Yeah.
Best money we've invested.
Yeah.
On top of letting Jason handle all that. So
Yeah.
it's been great.
That's good though.
We're gonna keep rolling with them.
Yeah, they write that last one, Brian.
Which one?
The safer,
Yeah, safer one.
That Jefferson.
no, they want $900 to do that, so I do the little ones.
Well, they charge you per each one, right? I got you, okay. They're not just
Okay.
All right,
Nope, you're good.
the shared apparatus agreement.
Yeah, we're still working through that. Like I kind of hinted at, I believe the sort of rule is going to be out of it because it will mess up all of our ISO scores. So us and Maplewood are hoping to have a polished version of the document for review and signature at the chief board.
How long is it taking to get their truck?
It's been a while now. I know Cedar Hill's got a truck off being repaired from when they got hit on Highway 30. It's just 8 or 9 month process to get it fixed. So
I guess, are they down another one? Because when I went to that meeting in Cedar Hill last night, there was one broke down on the side of Highway 30,
I have no idea.
Oh,
one of their new ones.
No idea. Could be.
new business ordinance, custodial of records.
Yes, with Bob being on the board again, we need to re-update the custodian of records ordinance. Basically, Bob's the secretary, but this allows if anybody comes by for sunshine requests that I can do that without Bob having to come down and dig through all the records. That's all that is.
Bob will sign twice.
Yep. Joy being the secretary. I got a big carpal tunnel on every document signed twice. A lot of ink. Yeah. There'll be a shortage of
They
that.
could be proud of that didn't sign them the same, either one.
And,
If you never sign nothing, sign twice.
need a motion to approve the ordinance?
I'll make that.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, aye. All right, short-term, long-term insurance renewal.
Yes, our policy renews on August 1st. We got our offer really, really early for some reason, but I'm not complaining. The Hartford Group has offered to lock us in for a 3-year period at our premium now, with no increase for short-term and long-term. $421.81 per month right now with the 15 employees. So my recommendation is we run with it.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Is that what you're up to now with the new people?
For short-term, long-term.
15 full-time
15
people?
full-time people, not that. Soon to be less, but we'll talk about that.
Apparatus insurance depreciation.
Yeah. Try to simplify this. I know Matt will pretty much understand it, but no, it's not simple. So we have an agreed upon value of our apparatus that we tell our insurance agent every year what that vehicle's worth. I get it. If a vehicle wrecks, you only get what it's worth at the time when it wrecks. So right now we have the 2001 truck out there insured for $400,000. If it wrecks, we're only going to get what it's worth today, $20,000, $30,000 for that vehicle. So our agent is recommending we depreciate our vehicles every year, so we're not paying $400,000 worth of insurance that we're never ever going to get on that vehicle.
Right.
Kind of like you wreck your car now. Even if you got full coverage, you're only going to get what it's worth in the Blue Book today, or NADA, or whatever they use, or however you guys figure that out.
Is there a value system for fire trucks though?
I don't know.
Remember that time when we wrecked my hearse, we had a devil of a time with them.
Right. They're going to
There's
go,
no hook on hearses.
from what Grant told me, they're going to do comparative searches for what that vehicle's worth through used fire truck apparatus sites and stuff like that. So much like real estate, they'll do it.
So you can't set with this, you can't set like a value. With State Farm, you can do that.
Well,
right?
you know, like
You
in
got an old car or something.
you can name the price, or not name it, you have to show proof that it's worth that much, but then you're through on insurance for the duration of that policy.
It doesn't work that way with us.
With
So
commercial stuff.
what kind of sparked this is a big fourth alarm fire down in DeSoto City late last year, early this year, whenever that was. They totaled their ladder truck because it got too close to the fire, basically.
No way.
And everybody was, oh, yeah, it's insured for $1 million or whatever.
Just go get a new
We're
one.
gonna go get a new one. They're getting $80,000 for that truck. So that is the importance of having money in the bank if something does happen to one of our trucks, because we're gonna have to make up that difference between what it's valued at and what it's insured for and what they're actually gonna pay for it. So I did call our accountant and ask them how he depreciates our vehicles, because they do it every year on the account. They do a straight line depreciation. So it's worth $500,000 today. The lifespan of the vehicle is 20 years. They get that down to zero and just divide that up evenly every year and drop that amount down. So whatever that even percentage increment is every year, they depreciate the value of the vehicle that much. So we could, in theory, and what I think we need to do is set a floor of like $100,000, right? And say we don't go any lower on these vehicles than $100,000. But that stuffing out there, the second we drove it on its first call, $450,000 it's worth now, not $522,000 that we just paid for it 3 months ago. So I think we could save a little bit of money by depreciating all of our vehicles. Yeah, what's the point of paying for it?
I get it.
So I just wanted to get your thoughts and see what you guys thought on that, and especially Matt, if I'm on the right track.
No, I think you are on the right track.
With all that.
I agree too.
Grant would know more about the commercial side than I would, so then I would trust Grant.
Yeah. So I'm thinking we just straight line the cost of the vehicle over its lifespan, put a floor of $100,000, don't go any lower, and just lower it that amount every single year when we go to renew insurance. Okay. That would be my plan for all of them. I kind of put a sample of what, did I put a sample in there of what the new pumper would do?
Yeah, it's on your sheet.
I've seen that. I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the boardable account.
Maybe I forgot to put it in your actual packet, I'm sorry.
I swore it's not something like that.
Anyway, that's kind of what it would look like. This year, we'd insure it for a full amount. Next year, we'd take off whatever percent, 10% or whatever we need to do, 5%.
With State Farm, we can move to the fire trucks and, people drive.
I tried to switch to State Farm. You guys want insurance? Just don't have my golf umbrella yet either.
If any of you want to see the depreciation list of trade.
Thank you. I forgot to throw it in the packet.
Yeah.
All right.
So just hit the high spot.
Basically, he started off this year at 522,295, what was paid for.
Yeah.
And in 2041, it's bottomed out at 100,000.
Okay.
So it depreciates like 20 grand every year.
Okay.
So
That's reasonable. Probably still on the high side, which is probably a good way to be.
I'd rather be a little bit higher than low.
Go with the underinsured.
Right, right. Okay, we'll do that for all the vehicles, and what'll happen, since we already renewed and paid this year, we'll get a refund. So we'll refund when we go back and reset those values for the year.
Okay.
So that's probably, does Grant have the Silver City insured, or is that just an example?
No, that's just an example. All the cities are insured through MIRMA.
They had that tonight, though, to the property.
Yeah. So I just, we got these 2001, 2002, 3, 4 trucks, whatever year they are, insured for $400,000. We're gonna get 30 grand if we total one out. There's gotta be at least some savings by doing
The Fire Rescue Academy training platform.
this. Yeah, we're kind of struggling in some key areas with training. It's coming recommended from Captain Husky, who runs the training division, of getting like officer level training, some hazmat training, some of these other weird courses that we have out there. And his recommendation is to switch over to this company called Fire Rescue Academy. Had them in the past. They've got great content, good stuff for training, all kinds of good stuff for training. Our EMTs can take advantage of CEUs online. We are currently using CE Solution. Is the name of the company. They expire in December. We prepaid a 2-year contract with them, and their content is junk. It's designed for Bob forgot to restart his EMT license. He's got 2 months to do it. He can get on there and print off all the tests and cheat and jet through it really, really fast. This will help us better manage and prepare for ISO reviews and get us ready to rock and roll moving forward with everything. So I think it's a good investment. We need to do something anyhow, and I'd like to go ahead and do it. It's kind of a budgeted expense. We do budget for this.
It's about the same cost.
It's roughly the same cost, yes. So I would like permission to proceed.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
And what is that? Vereco?
Verico is the name of the company. We, last year, well, circa the year before, we had a scheduling program that schedules all of our full-timers, our part-timers, some of our volunteer stuff, called Alatech. Good program. They just got a little expensive. We switched to a company called Net Duty, and they were half the price, and we got what we paid for. It was, I think Jason will attest to that since he handles the scheduling side of it.
I can't do much myself. I got to call the guy in Montana and say, hey, I need this done, and he's got to import it before I can mess with it. It's really kind of a pain in the butt.
It's ridiculous.
Time for that, this 2021.
Jesus, it's ridiculous. Several other agencies around us are using this company called Verico for their scheduling. It's very intuitive, very good. And it's not just scheduling. There's some training portions to it. There's some forms portions to it, which is huge for doing purchase orders and health checks and other things that we may need to do throughout the district. It'll track everybody's certification really, really good too. So we can stay on top of driver's license, CPR cards, EMS licenses, excuse me, and all that good stuff. It's got a full, and this is one area where we are really lacking. It's got a full human resources module, so we can track everybody's personnel file online now. As opposed to the way we're doing it now, which is manual file folders and scanning documents in and having some folders online. It's crazy the way that we're doing it, but we've never had anything to work with this. And there's just all kinds of stuff that comes along with this program that I would like to go ahead and try out and purchase. It's not cheap, I won't lie. It's $500 and this is for everything. I don't know if we'll go with everything or not in here. It's $568 a month, so it's about $6,000-ish per year. We were paying $4,000 a year for a lab tech before. And as you'll find out in closed session, we are losing an employee. So having some of these things will greatly help me pick up the slack that we're going to lose from losing that employee. So I would like to try it out for a year. We will have the money to do it under the software budget or the new equipment budget. We'll charge it to whichever one has the available funds in there. I think it would be very beneficial to all of us.
That's all right.
I'm fine.
I'll call it a motion then.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Forestry hose.
We need to buy some forestry hose.
Okay.
It's pretty easy. We need to buy some forestry hose. 1-inch hose, it hooks to the booster line. We ran into multiple problems this last brush fire season, not having enough line to reach the end of the fire and the overhaul done. So
Difficult getting through the woods with Potosi.
it is very, very, very difficult doing that. So I'd like to recommend that we go with.
Are you still up in the numbers? I got quotes for 400 foot, and I believe Chief and I decided we would like to go with 800 foot instead of 400. And that would be, and then there's 2 couplings we have to go with that, so a total of $970 plus shipping to the cheapest bid, which was Sentinel.
For all 800 foot?
Yep.
Yeah, it's cheap stuff.
It's single jacket, it's not double jacket like the stuff we use on the pump.
Still though.
So, yeah, 970 with shipping on hose, I don't know, rough guess, $120, $125, something like that for shipping.
Buy it.
Yeah, buy it, yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can't be a fireman without a hose.
No.
Public comment.
I have presented a public comment policy to you all for board meetings. We have yet to adopt one as a district. I think it's very imperative that we adopt this ordinance.
Where did you get it at, Brian?
And I stole it from Cedar Hill,
Okay.
so I let him pay the attorney bill this time.
All right. That's fine.
So basically, it's pretty simple. It limits state law. A board meeting, much to what you guys may think, the public has no guaranteed right to speak at a board meeting at all. It's here to conduct district business, not have residents upset. But I think in good faith to the district, if somebody wants to say something forward, this is the good platform to do it. But we need to keep it to where it doesn't get out of control and you have somebody that overtakes your meeting. So this allows 5 minutes. They sign up in advance, or they can sign up when they show up here. We have a section always on the agenda for public comment, or if anybody wants to talk. It's pretty simple. And then after their 5 minutes, they, okay, thank you, have a nice day. That's what they do.
Do you have a ordinance for that?
It's just in the form of a policy.
Okay.
I think just noted in the minute. And have
That we
this as a
approve the policy.
Yeah.
All right. Any discussion about that? All in favor of doing that?
You said closed session.
At 7:28, we're gonna go to closed session.
Then the door there.
Okay, 7:58, return to normal business. During the closed meeting, there was 2 votes taken. Regarding an agreement with Target Solutions and to place new part-time firefighters and 1 new volunteer. As we return to the normal business, is there anything else before the board? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Motion to adjourn, 7:59.